Ever notice how vacation days seem to last forever while work weeks disappear in a blur? That's not just your imagination, it's neuroscience. And understanding this phenomenon is the key to designing days that don't just pass by. They become part of who you are. The memory mirage is the illusion that productive days are good days. In reality, our brains don't store memories based on tasks completed. They create memories based on novel experiences, emotional resonance, and sensory engagement. This is why you can remember details from a vacation day 10 years ago, but struggle to recall what you did last Tuesday, despite being productive. Think about your most vivid memory from the past month. I'd bet it wasn't completing your inbox zero or finishing a report. It was likely a moment rich in sensory detail. The smell of something delicious cooking, the sound of someone's genuine laughter, or the feel of sunshine on your face during an unexpected break outdoors. Understanding this memory formation process is the first step to designing your perfect day. When you shift from designing days around productivity to designing days around meaningful sensory experiences, your days don't just become more enjoyable, they become more memorable, which literally expands your subjective experience of life. This is the foundation of the perfect day, one that doesn't vanish from memory the moment it's over. We've all had that disturbing experience of looking back at a busy month and feeling like it vanished. That's not inevitable. It's the result of days designed for productivity rather than experience and memory formation. The perfect day is one you'll actually remember. Studies show the average adult can barely distinguish between weekdays and memory, with up to 76% of adults reporting that their days blur together, despite being objectively different in activities. We're literally losing most of our lives to this memory mirage. Remember how a certain song, smell, or taste can instantly transport you back to a specific moment years ago. That's the power of sensory memory, and we're about to harness it to transform ordinary days into perfect ones that stick with you forever. Chapter 1. The Sensory Reality. What if I told you that your senses are time machines? Not for traveling to the future, but for experiencing the present moment more fully, making ordinary days extraordinary through the deliberate engagement of your sensory systems. Your five senses are the primary channels through which you experience reality. Yet most people operate on sensory autopilot, especially during routine days. Neuroscience shows that deliberate sensory engagement activates different neural networks, enhances memory formation, and literally slows down subjective time perception. By designing your day around strategic sensory engagement, you create a richer, more vibrant experience of life. In a fascinating study, researchers found that people who ate a meal while focusing on the sensory experience, the flavors, textures, aromas, and visual presentation, not only enjoyed the meal more, but also felt more satisfied, remembered more details about the experience, and perceived time as moving more slowly compared to those who ate the same meal while distracted. This is the essence of the perfect day. Not just doing different things, but experiencing familiar things differently. When you engage your senses intentionally throughout the day, you don't just enhance your experience, you expand it. Sensory-rich days feel longer, create more memories, and significantly increase life satisfaction without requiring more time. The perfect day isn't about cramming in more activities. It's about extracting more experience from each moment through sensory awareness. Think about how different a morning coffee feels when you're rushing versus when you take time to notice the aroma, feel the warmth of the cup, and really taste the flavor. Same coffee, completely different experience, all because of sensory attention. The perfect day is built from these intentionally designed sensory moments. While mindfulness has become a buzzword, research from Harvard shows that the average person spends 47% of their waking hours with their mind wandering away from sensory experience. And this disconnection is directly linked to reported unhappiness. We're missing nearly half our lives while physically present but mentally absent. Have you ever noticed how children can be fascinated by something as simple as watching raindrops on a window? They haven't yet learned to ignore their senses, and we can reclaim some of that wonder by re-engaging with our sensory experience. That childlike sensory presence is at the heart of your perfect day. Chapter 2. Circadian Biology. Your body isn't just a transportation system for your brain. It's a symphony of biological rhythms that rise and fall throughout the day. When you design your day in harmony with these natural cycles, everything flows better. Fight against them and you're swimming upstream all day long. Circadian biology is the science of your body's internal timing systems, rhythms that regulate everything from alertness and body temperature to digestive efficiency and creativity. These aren't just preferences, they're biological imperatives encoded in your cells. Research shows that aligning your activities with these natural rhythms can improve performance by up to 30%, enhance mood, and significantly increase your sense of ease and flow throughout the day. This alignment is essential to your perfect day design, working with your body instead of against it. Most people experience their peak body temperature between 2 and 4 p.m., which correlates with optimal hand-eye coordination and physical performance. Yet many schedule physically demanding activities in the early morning when coordination is at its lowest. Simply shifting workout timing to align with this natural peak can improve performance, reduce injury risk, and make the experience more enjoyable, even though it's the same activity. The perfect day isn't just about what you do, it's about when you do it. When you design your day in alignment with your circadian rhythms, you experience a kind of biological tailwind that makes everything easier and more effective. You're not just doing the same activities at different times. You're fundamentally transforming how those activities feel and what they produce. Your perfect day flows with these natural rhythms instead of fighting against them. We've all experienced days where everything seems to flow effortlessly, compared to days where each task feels like pushing a boulder uphill. Much of this difference comes down to circadian alignment, whether you're working with or against your body's natural rhythms. Those effortless flow days are glimpses of what your perfect day can consistently feel like, with proper rhythm alignment. While our culture often celebrates pushing through biological limits, research from circadian neuroscience shows that aligned timing is more effective than effort. Olympic records are broken most often during the circadian peak between 3 and 6 p.m., regardless of training schedules. Even world-class performance depends more on timing than effort. Ever notice how some mornings you wake up naturally just before your alarm, feeling refreshed, while other mornings, multiple alarms can barely drag you to consciousness? That's your circadian rhythm talking, and learning its language is key to designing your perfect day. The perfect day works with these rhythms, not against them. Chapter 3. The 17-hour perfect day formula. What if I told you there's an optimal framework for your waking hours that most people completely ignore? They call it the 17-hour perfect day formula. And it's about to transform how you think about designing your daily experience. The average person is awake for about 16 to 18 hours each day, but treats each hour as equal territory for activity and productivity. This is a fundamental mistake. Research in chronobiology shows that these 17 hours naturally divide into distinct energy phases that should determine what activities you do and when. The perfect day isn't about filling all hours equally. It's about strategic alignment with your natural energy curve. The 17-hour perfect day formula divides your waking hours, the activation phase, first 1 to 2 hours after waking, when your body is transitioning from sleep to full alertness, ideal for gentle movement and preparation, not decision-making. Second, the focus phase, the next 4 to 6 hours, when your analytical abilities and attention peak, optimal for your most cognitively demanding work. Third, the connection phase, middle 4 to 5 hours, when your social and emotional intelligence peaks, best for meetings, collaboration, and relationship building. And finally, the reflection phase, final 4 to 5 hours, when creative insights and big-picture thinking emerge, perfect for creative work and planning. This natural rhythm is the blueprint for your perfect day. Studies from the Interdisciplinary Center for Chronobiology show that working against these natural phases can reduce cognitive performance by up to 30% and increase stress hormones by 50 to 70%. Yet when you align activities with these natural phases, you experience what researchers call effort-free productivity. where work feels less like pushing against resistance and more like flowing with a current. The perfect day follows this natural 17-hour rhythm rather than fighting against it. When you design your day according to this 17-hour formula, you're not just working differently, you're experiencing time differently. Activities feel more natural, transitions become smoother, and the entire day takes on a sense of coherence rather than fragmentation. This is the foundation of the perfect day. Not more hours, but the right activities in the right hours. Have you ever noticed how some activities feel almost effortless at certain times of day, yet nearly impossible at others? That's not random. It's your body giving you clear signals about the 17-hour formula encoded in your biology. The perfect day follows this personal rhythm, creating flow instead of friction. Chapter 4. Sound Architecture. The soundtrack of your day isn't just background noise. It's actively shaping your brain state, your emotions, and even your physical health. Let's design your sound environment with the same care you'd give to choosing the music for the most important moments of your life. Sound architecture is the strategic design of your acoustic environment to enhance your experience and performance in different activities. Research in neuroscience shows that sound directly affects brainwave patterns, heart rate, stress hormones, and even immune function. By deliberately crafting the sound dimension of your day, choosing when to embrace silence, when to introduce specific types of sound, and when to use sound as a transitional tool, you can transform your experience of time, space, and activity. The perfect day has a perfect soundtrack, designed with intention. Studies show that nature sounds, like rainfall or forest ambience, reduce stress markers by up to 28% and improve cognitive performance during focused work. Meanwhile, certain musical structures, like Baroque compositions, have been shown to enhance learning and memory formation. By mapping different sound environments to different activities, perhaps rainfall sounds for focused work, Baroque music for learning, and complete silence for creative thinking, you create distinct sound rooms for your brain that enhance your capabilities. Your perfect day has different sonic zones for different activities. When you intentionally design your sound environment, you're not just creating a pleasant backdrop, you're actively influencing your neurological state. The right sounds at the right times can make challenging work feel easier, creative thinking more fluid, and transitional moments more defined in memory. Sound design is one of the most powerful yet overlooked elements of your perfect day. Think about how a movie soundtrack completely transforms how you experience a scene. The exact same visuals can feel threatening, inspiring, or heartbreaking depending on the music. Your daily life has a soundtrack too, and it's having the same powerful effect whether you're conscious of it or not. Ever notice how certain songs can instantly change your emotional state, pumping you up for a workout or calming you before sleep? That's just a glimpse of sound's power to transform your experience. Sound is the invisible architect of your emotions and focus, key elements of your perfect day. Chapter 5. Taste and Smell Engineering. Your most primitive, powerful senses are the ones modern life ignores the most. Taste and smell bypass conscious thought to directly affect your emotions, memories, and even cognitive performance. Let's reclaim these chemical senses to transform ordinary days into extraordinary experiences, essential building blocks of your perfect day. Taste and smell engineering is the strategic integration of olfactory and gustatory experiences throughout your day to enhance mood, mark transitions, strengthen memories, and deepen enjoyment. These chemical senses have direct neurological connections to your limbic system, the emotional and memory centers of your brain. By deliberately designing these sensory inputs, you create powerful anchors for experiences that would otherwise fade quickly from memory. The perfect day should be remembered, and taste and smell are your most powerful memory creation tools. Research shows that specific scents can improve performance in different contexts. Rosemary increases alertness and memory by up to 15%, while lavender improves creative problem-solving by helping the brain form unusual connections. By creating a scent schedule, Perhaps citrus essences in your morning routine, rosemary during focused work periods, and lavender during creative or reflective times. You're essentially giving your brain subtle cues about what state to adopt. Your perfect day has an intentional olfactory landscape, not random smells. Think about how a particular smell can instantly transport you to a specific memory. Perhaps your grandmother's kitchen or a childhood vacation. That's the unique power of these chemical senses to encode experiences, and we can use it deliberately to make ordinary moments more memorable. The perfect day isn't just lived in the moment. It's designed to be remembered, and scent is your most powerful memory tool. While sensory marketing has become a multi-billion-dollar industry, with companies designing signature scents to manipulate consumer behavior, few individuals apply these same powerful principles to enhance their own daily experience. Companies know the power of scent and taste, but most individuals leave these powerful senses up to chance. Remember how certain tastes or smells can bring back vivid memories from decades ago, when even the visual details of those same events have faded. That's the remarkable power of your chemical senses to encode experiences, and we're about to harness it for your perfect day. Your perfect day deserves to be experienced fully and remembered vividly. That's what taste and smell engineering makes possible. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join. Chapter 6, Touch and Movement Integration. In our increasingly digital world, we're experiencing a crisis of physical sensation. Yet your skin is your largest organ, containing millions of receptors designed to enrich your experience of being alive. Let's bring intentional touch and movement back to the center of your perfect day design. Touch and movement integration is the deliberate incorporation of varied tactile experiences and physical movements throughout your day. Neuroscience research shows that touch receptors and proprioception, your sense of body position, don't just provide physical feedback. They directly influence emotional regulation, cognitive function, and overall well-being. Studies from the University of Miami show that even brief touch interactions with varied textures, like 30 seconds of handling natural materials with different properties, can reduce stress hormones and improve mood for up to 45 minutes. Similarly, changing your physical position every 30 minutes increases cognitive flexibility and creative problem solving. Creating a texture map of your day, intentionally engaging with different materials, and incorporating varied movements between tasks provides neural refreshment that prevents mental fatigue. Your perfect day has textural diversity and movement variety built into its very structure. When you design your day with touch diversity and movement variation, you're not just addressing physical needs, you're creating a richer neurological experience that enhances cognitive function, emotional regulation, and memory formation. These physical inputs fight against the zombie mode of habitual days. The perfect day feels physically satisfying, not just mentally stimulating. Think about how different it feels to work at a desk with unpleasant materials, like a scratchy chair or cheap plastic surfaces, versus one with satisfying tactile elements, like smooth wood or soft fabric. These touch experiences aren't just about comfort. They fundamentally change your relationship with the activities you perform there. Your perfect day includes environments that feel good to your body, not just spaces that serve functional needs. While ergonomics focuses on preventing physical harm, emerging research in sensory ergonomics suggests that tactile pleasure is equally important for psychological well-being. Yet the average knowledge worker touches fewer than 10 distinct textures in their entire workday. We're neglecting one of our most important sensory dimensions in our daily experience. Have you noticed how certain physical sensations can instantly change your state of mind? Like stepping from a hot room into a cool breeze, or the relief of stretching after sitting too long? These aren't just physical experiences. They're state change triggers we can strategically design into your day. The perfect day includes intentional physical transitions that refresh your nervous system and reset your mental state. Chapter 7. Visual Environment Design. Your visual system consumes roughly 30% of your brain's processing power. What you see literally shapes what you think, feel, and remember. Yet most of us accept visual environments designed for someone else's priorities. Let's reclaim your visual space as a tool for your perfect day. Studies from the University of British Columbia found that different colors enhance different types of cognitive performance. Blue environments improve creative thinking and problem solving by up to 28%, while red environments enhance detail-oriented performance by up to 31%. Similarly, simply having a view of natural elements reduces mental fatigue and eye strain by giving your visual system periodic relief from focused attention. Designing different visual zones for different activities, perhaps using blue elements in spaces for creative work and incorporating natural views for regular visual breaks, creates an environment that actively supports your cognitive needs. Your perfect day unfolds in visually optimized spaces for each activity. When you design your visual environment intentionally, you're not just creating aesthetic pleasure, you're actively influencing your brain's functioning. The right visual elements at the right times can reduce mental effort, enhance specific cognitive capabilities, and create distinct experiential rooms that fight against the monotony that accelerates subjective time. The perfect day includes visual variety that keeps your brain engaged and your experience rich. We've all experienced the difference between trying to relax in a visually chaotic space versus a harmonious one, or trying to focus with visual distractions versus in a visually calm environment. These differences aren't just preferences. They represent your brain's response to different processing demands. The perfect day unfolds in visual environments that make things easier for your brain, not harder. While companies spend millions designing visual environments that increase consumer spending, research shows that most people have never spent even 1 hour intentionally designing their home visual environment to support their own well-being and performance. We invest more in decorating our spaces than in designing them for our actual cognitive and emotional needs. Think about how certain spaces make you feel instantly different, more creative, more relaxed, or more focused, often before you've even consciously registered why. That's your visual system's profound influence on your state of mind, and we can harness it for your perfect day. The perfect day happens in spaces visually designed for your brain's optimal functioning, not just spaces that look good in photos. Chapter 8. Relationship Moments. In our quest for productivity and achievement, we often optimize everything except the very thing that research consistently shows matters most for well-being: meaningful human connection. Let's design relationship moments as intentionally as we design workflows. After all, a perfect day without connection isn't perfect at all. Relationship moments are deliberately designed interactions with others that provide emotional nourishment, perspective shifts, and social connection throughout your day. Research from Harvard's longest-running study shows that the quality of our relationships is the single strongest predictor of well-being, stronger than genetics, wealth, or career success. By intentionally designing the who, how, and when of your social interactions, you transform what might be draining exchanges into energizing connection points that enhance your entire day. The perfect day includes relationship moments that fill your emotional tank rather than depleting it. Studies show that even brief, high-quality social interactions, as short as 5 minutes, can significantly boost mood, energy, and cognitive performance for up to 2 hours afterward. Yet the typical workplace interaction focuses purely on transactional information exchange. By redesigning key interaction points in your day, perhaps starting meetings with a genuine connection question, scheduling a 15-minute relationship walk with a friend or colleague, or creating a meaningful dinner ritual with family, you transform these moments into sources of energy rather than depletion. The perfect day features pockets of genuine human connection strategically placed to energize you. When you incorporate intentional relationship moments throughout your day, you're not just fulfilling a social need, you're strategically creating emotional high points that become the anchors of memorable days. These connections fight against the emptiness that can accompany even productive days when human connection is missing. The perfect day balances achievement with connection. Both are essential. Think about how different your day feels when it includes even one meaningful conversation where you felt truly seen and understood, versus days filled with purely transactional interactions. That difference isn't just emotional. It affects your energy, creativity, and resilience in facing challenges. Your perfect day deserves the renewable energy source that only genuine connection can provide. Despite the average person checking their phone 96 times daily, or once every 10 minutes, research from MIT shows that 65% of adults report going entire workdays without a single meaningful human connection, a phenomenon researchers call connection famine. We're more connected, yet more isolated than ever before. Remember the last time a brief conversation with someone left you feeling energized and inspired for hours afterward? That wasn't random. It was the result of specific interaction qualities we can deliberately design into your daily relationships. The perfect day includes these moments of genuine connection that renew your spirit and remind you why all the productivity matters in the first place. Chapter 9. The perfect day in practice. The perfect day isn't a destination you reach once. It's a practice you refine continuously. Let's talk about how to implement these sensory and rhythm principles in the real world, with all its constraints and unexpected developments. After all, the perfect day has to work in your actual life, not just in theory. The perfect day practice is a flexible framework for continuously evolving your daily experience through intentional sensory design, rhythm alignment, and meaningful moments. Unlike rigid productivity systems that break under pressure, this approach embraces adaptation while maintaining core principles. The key is starting with small sensory interventions that create disproportionate results, then gradually building your perfect day practice through consistent experimentation. Your perfect day evolves as you do. It's not a fixed formula, but a living design. Begin with just 2 sensory interventions. 1. Design your morning sensory environment to engage at least 3 senses deliberately, perhaps through gentle wake-up sounds, aromatherapy, and textured surfaces. And 2. Create one sensory reset point in your day, a 3-minute multi-sensory experience, like stepping outside to feel sunshine and fresh air while sipping a flavorful beverage, when your energy typically dips. Research shows that these 2 changes alone can improve perceived well-being by up to 26%, while making days feel subjectively longer and more memorable. The perfect day doesn't require a complete life overhaul, just strategic sensory additions. The perfect day practice isn't just about optimization, it's about creating days that feel good to live and worth remembering. When your sensory experiences, rhythmic alignment, and relationships are designed intentionally, you experience both greater well-being and enhanced performance, the rare situation where you can truly have it all. The perfect day feels as good as it performs. While social media portrays idealized lives, research shows that even small sensory interventions, as simple as changing your alarm sound or adding a scented candle to your workspace, can create measurable improvements in daily experience within the first week. You don't need a radical life change to begin experiencing better days, just intentional sensory adjustments. Remember, the difference between a forgettable day and a memorable one often comes down to a handful of moments: sensory experiences, rhythmic alignments, and human connections that transform ordinary time into extraordinary memories. The perfect day isn't perfect because nothing goes wrong. It's perfect because it's designed to be truly lived and remembered. And that kind of perfect day is available to you starting tomorrow. The truth is, the perfect day isn't a rigid schedule. It's a sensory symphony you compose, one that aligns with your natural rhythms, engages your full perceptual capabilities, and creates moments worth remembering. It's about designing days that don't just pass by, but become part of who you are. This is the essence of the 17-hour perfect day formula. So start small. Choose just one element we've discussed, perhaps your morning sound environment or a strategic scent anchor, and implement it consistently. Then build from there. The perfect day isn't built in a day. Your perfect day isn't waiting for you in some distant future. It's available right now, one sensory design choice at a time. I'm curious, which of these elements will you implement first? Share in the comments below and let's design our perfect days together. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming video on how to create a workspace that engages all your senses for maximum creativity and well-being. Ready to transform your daily productivity? Join our YouTube membership for exclusive perks, including access to scripts, input on future topics, and a direct connection with our community. Click join below and let's design your perfect day together. Until next time, remember, design your sensory experience, align with your natural rhythms, and your perfect day will follow.